Hey there, welcome to the garden. Today I am going to be planting a couple of the plants that I just got from the garden center. Just a few things to sort of add to the landscape, add a little dimension and kind of color. Actually, all of them are foliage plants, so not even any flowers, but I tend to find, especially because I grow so many edible plants out here, that this whole garden ends up looking pretty green. So I have lots and lots of decorative flowers and decorative plants, but I grow a lot of edibles in and amongst and with them and try to kind of create a decorative and edible space. And so most of those edible plants are all just green, as you know, tomatoes and peppers and everything like that. So I picked up a few kind of different colored foliage plants, I guess, to add a little dimension, a little bit of color, kind of break it up so that when you're looking at the garden as a whole, it doesn't just look totally green, I guess. That's my thought. So let me show you what I'm planting, where I'm planting it. This is just going to kind of be a what I'm doing today video. It's an absolutely gorgeous day. We are getting into such beautiful weather. It does not feel like April right now. I feel like it's June. It's so beautiful. But we're going to start over in one of my little perennial sections and do some coleus. Actually, we're going to plant here. Let me move this because we don't need a random pot. Okay, so we are going to actually plant in some of this coleus. This is a really pretty plant. It's a wizard sunset coleus, so really kind of like a nice burnt orange sort of look. I'm going to put a few of those in here, and then I also picked up this let's see, it's a sidekick. Let me turn it around. Sidekick black heart sweet potato vine. So I'm going to do one sweet potato vine in this corner and one here and let them kind of ramble in and fill in this area. Right now we have the violas, which are looking beautiful. These are some of the ones that I started from seed, and as you can see, they're flowering. They're looking so pretty. They are definitely, not going to make it all season. So as the sweet potato vine starts to take over this space, these will start to be kind of at the end of their season. They'll probably last another month for me, I would guess, maybe into June. But at that point, the sweet potato vine can come in here. And then in the back of this space, I've got, you can see some there's some black-eyed Susans, there's some echinacea. I planted a little bit of milkweed, and then I also sprinkled a bunch of basil, actually what is it called? Blue spice basil back there. So that's gonna be like kind of basil and black-eyed Susans, just kind of wild. And then I planted a few of my, let me get this out of here. I planted a few of the little coleus that I started from seed, and they're looking okay. This one isn't, I don't know if it's gonna pull through. This is actually foxglove that I started from seed, and there's a couple back here, but they just, if they come up and they start really growing, then great, that'll be amazing, but they're just not looking super good. And I may be worried too early. They may end up being just fine, but I'm just gonna put a few more of these. I'm gonna put like a couple in here, a couple right here, and then I have another 4-pack. I'm gonna put a couple more in the back there, just so that we do have some of this coleus if the other coleus doesn't end up taking off. And then I actually am going to put, I think, one maybe of these coleus here under the little maple tree that we've got, and then maybe one right there just to tie in the colors, trying to keep the whole garden cohesive. It's always a challenge for me to keep, thinking about the whole garden as a whole and keeping the look cohesive, but I think adding the coleus to different places will just kind of help that. And then I'm super excited about this plant, and I'm gonna get it, I'm not sure where I'm gonna plant it actually. I might plant it just in the front of this garden bed, honestly, but look at this cute plant. I know absolutely nothing about it, but it is adorable. This is called a Joey Pink Mulla. How cute. I thought it might be kind of cute in the front of this bed, just as like a little accent plant. It's kind of low. It's not gonna get too tall. And it might just be kind of fun. They're similar, sort of like wild vibe to, actually this is a container I need to put together soon, but I did pick up some of the truffle pink Frina, which has a similar sort of like wild kind of, I don't know, looks like clover a little bit. And this has that look too. And I kind of like it just in the front of the bed like that. Just adding, you know, I don't know, a little bit of interest, a little bit of color. I did put a few of the truffle pinks in here. And then, oh, let me see. Okay, while we're over here, I think I just saw, oh yes, it's sprouting. Can you see that? There's my squash. Okay, I was just thinking that I was gonna have to come back out here and replant the squash, but it looks like I'm not going to. So this is the truffle pink Frina. I did sprinkle some basil seeds in here as well, and then I realized, oh yeah, I wanted to plant the Frina here. So I think I see a couple of the basil plants coming up, and I'm gonna stick some more basil in here again later. Every so often that happens to me, where I kind of forget my plans and I have to come jump back in. But yeah, I'm just kind of like loving this little like whimsy look, and I thought those are so cute. Okay, those are gonna go there because I had thought I was gonna put them in this container, but I think I want to do something else in this container, and it's so pretty right now, you know, I don't want to pull that out. So, okay, let's get planted. I want to go for some bigger impact, so I'm gonna do 2 together in each area, just so that I get the biggest impact I can from the coleus. Do 1 back here. This guy in. These will get huge if you have the right conditions for an elephant ear, or not an elephant ear. Those will get huge too. For a sweet potato, I don't know what made me think of elephant ear. They will get really big and be really beautiful. Okay, and then we'll do a couple right here. I'm just moving the peas. I'm actually gonna put it over here. I was gonna stick this one right here, but then I realized I've got this foxglove right there, and that, assuming it grows well, is gonna be big. Oh no, and I'm stepping on. Oh dear. Okay, I'm gonna go get the other couple ones. All right, I'm gonna have to come back in and remulch, because as you can see, the mulch got a little bit disrupted, but already I feel like that adds so much more interest to this area, so much more kind of color. And I have these 2 more, so I'm going to stick 1 over in this corner and 1 in that corner, just to tie the whole thing together.
So I guess I said I wasn't planting any flowers, and I guess technically that one I just planted, the Joey, is a flower, but it's kind of more decorative, kind of foliage style with the little tiny flowers. But anyways, the last plant that I'm going to plant today, I think this might be my favorite plant this season. This is called a Fancy Fillers guacamole, and I am in love with this plant. I think it is so cute and so, I don't know, just beautiful. Like, oh my gosh. As far as a decorative foliage plant, this is, I mean, what more could you ask for? It's so interesting and beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's got great shape. And so let me see what it says about this guy. It's one that you want part sun to part shade, so you can grow it in a shadier area. It spreads about 18 to 24 inches, height 18 to 24 inches, great for hanging baskets, container combination, striking. I would say striking is definitely, yeah, I love it. I wish I had gotten more of these, but I think this one is gonna go right here. This was a fig. I don't know if it's still gonna wake up. This is a Chicago Hardy fig, and I've got it in this container. It still feels a little flexible, which makes me a little nervous totally replacing it. But you know, I'm gonna put it in a different pot and just see how it grows and if it does wake up or not, but I'm not gonna wait for it, and I'm gonna stick this guy right here. I think it's gonna be the perfect, stunning little plant for this area and really fill in this nook in these containers really well. It's so beautiful. I love it. I just absolutely love it. All right, I ended up having an extra pot, so I kept the fig. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll see if it wakes up again, but just put that there. So pretty. Things are starting to really take off. As I said, I've got this container I've got to do, you know, there's a few more things, but we're starting to fill in all these places. Of course, I'm gonna let all this lettuce continue to grow, and we're gonna harvest that and eat that. So I'll have lots of containers to keep planting as the season goes on, but I'm starting to feel like we're getting a good fill. You know, the hanging baskets are starting to be full, and yeah, and I'm loving that. I've just been enjoying these alliums so much. So beautiful. I don't know what I'm gonna do in this basket once I'm done with the alliums and the lettuce, so this will be a big basket and it'll be super fun. But I have to say, this is my favorite right now. Oh my gosh. I may have to get some more of it for some of the other containers, or it may be something that I just think about for next year, that I want to have a lot of that in the garden, because I just think it's so beautiful and so interesting and kind of different. And yeah, finding different kinds of foliage are just so important. It just adds so much dimension and texture, and flowers are great. You can always have flowers, but it's cool to have some other things too. Even if you have, you know, the most beautiful collection of flowers, if it's all just green around them, they don't show up. It's not as interesting on the eye. It just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't look quite the same. And it's taken me a long time to learn that, because I do so much food growing back here, but this is really a decorative garden. So for all the food that I like to produce out here, it's decorative, it's for my enjoyment, it's totally just for the beauty of it. And it took me a while to realize that I really needed to focus on getting color in with other leaves and different textures and keep things interesting, because it can very quickly, especially if you've got like, yeah, all those, you know, peppers growing or something, it just very quickly turn into this sea of green, which is beautiful, totally beautiful in its own right. And I like that too, but I like to have just a little bit more dimension in here. It's been a process of learning that, and I think we're starting to get it. Now here's the mess I need to take care of. So every garden has a messy corner too. So I'm gonna probably just clean that up today. That's the rest of my garden. Just kind of gardening day is just kind of sorting all that stuff out, because it tends to be, as you're getting plants in, then you've got pots and all of that business. So I am going to clean and tidy and kind of keep dreaming. I find that some of my best garden planning happens when I'm just kind of puttering around the garden thinking about things. So I will talk to you again soon with more planting. I'm sure there'll be more things to plant, and I've still got a few seedlings in the unheated greenhouse growing away, and I've got some good ideas for those too. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.